Every year, millions of cars across the U.S. suffer engine damage far earlier than they should. Not because owners ignored maintenance, not because they abused their cars, but because they trusted smart features that were never designed for long-term reliability. I've watched engines fail early, batteries die suddenly, and cars shut down in live traffic, all functioning exactly as programmed. No warning, no error, just failure. Today, I'm breaking down 23 car features you should disable immediately, features quietly shortening your car's lifespan. And at the end, I'll reveal a few hidden settings that can actually make your car last longer. Let's start with one you probably use every day. Feature number 23, Auto Start-Stop System. Auto Start-Stop is sold as a fuel-saving miracle. Shut the engine off at lights, restart it instantly, save gas. Sounds smart. Here's what rarely gets mentioned. Every shutdown and restart adds stress to parts that were never meant for constant cycling. Starters, batteries, engine mounts, and even internal bearings take repeated hits. Many modern starters fail long before 50,000 miles because of this feature alone. Then there's the delay. That split-second pause when the light turns green and the car hesitates to wake up. In busy intersections, that hesitation isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. The fuel savings are tiny, the repair bills aren't. Turn it off. And the next feature? It can literally grab your steering wheel. Feature number 22, Lane Keep Assist on narrow or rural roads. Lane Keep Assist is designed for clean, well-marked highways. But take it onto a narrow back road, faded paint, or a twisting rural lane, and it becomes a liability. When lane markings disappear or curve unexpectedly, the system guesses. That's when the steering wheel suddenly tugs in your hands, fighting you when you're dodging potholes, cyclists, or road debris. Some systems even try to pull you back while you're safely moving aside. Instead of helping, you end up wrestling the car just to stay in control. In construction zones or while towing, it can be outright dangerous. On roads where conditions change fast, you should be steering, not confused cameras. And if that felt unsettling, the next feature causes chaos in stop-and-go traffic. Feature number 21, Adaptive Cruise Control in City Traffic. Adaptive cruise control works best when traffic flows smoothly. City driving is the opposite. In stop-and-go traffic, this system constantly brakes and accelerates in ways that feel jerky and unpredictable. It relies on radar and cameras that don't always understand real-world behavior, like sudden lane changes, motorcycles slipping through traffic, or cars inching forward at lights. Sometimes it reacts too late. Other times it slams the brakes when nothing's wrong. That unpredictability increases stress instead of reducing it. Even safety testers admit these systems struggle most in dense urban traffic. On crowded city streets, split-second decisions matter, and sensors aren't great at nuance. Highways? Fine. Cities? Keep control in your hands. And if you think that's frustrating, the next feature can mess with your vision at night. Feature number 20, Automatic High Beam Headlights. Automatic high beams sound like a smart safety upgrade. The car decides when to dim or brighten your lights so you don't blind anyone. In reality, they get it wrong. A lot. These systems depend on cameras that struggle with rain, glare, curves, or dim headlights from older cars. That leads to high beams flicking on when another driver is approaching, or switching off right when you need maximum visibility. On dark, winding roads, that hesitation can leave you half blind at the worst moment. Some drivers even get flashed or pulled over because their car kept blinding others automatically. Lighting is situational. A camera can't judge intent, road shape, or weather the way a human can. Manual control is still safer. And if poor lighting is dangerous, the next feature quietly drains power even when you're not moving. Feature number 19. Daytime running lights while parked or idling. Daytime running lights were meant to help visibility while driving. So why are they on when you're not even moving? When parked or idling, these lights do nothing but waste energy. They pull power from the battery, wear out bulbs, and add unnecessary load to the electrical system, especially in cars where the lights stay on until the ignition shuts off. In bright daylight, they don't improve safety. If someone can't see an entire car in front of them, a small light won't fix that. Worse, they can confuse drivers behind you, making it look like you're about to move. If your car allows it, turn them off when stopped. Save your battery and your sanity, because the next feature fails exactly when the weather gets bad. Feature number 18. Blind spot monitoring in heavy rain or dirt. Blind spot monitoring works great until the sensors can't see, and that happens more often than most drivers realize. Rain, snow, mud, road salt, even a dirty bumper can block or confuse the radar sensors. When that happens, the system may flash warnings for cars that aren't there. Or worse, stay silent when a vehicle is actually beside you. That's the dangerous part. The system doesn't always warn you when it stops working. It just quietly fails, giving you a false sense of security. In bad weather, relying on sensors instead of mirrors and a quick shoulder check can get you into trouble fast. When conditions turn ugly, turn this off and trust your eyes. And speaking of constant warnings, the next feature loves to nag, even when nothing's wrong. Feature number 17, tire pressure monitoring reset reminders. Tire pressure monitoring systems are meant to keep you safe, but the reset reminders often do the opposite. You fill your tires, reset the system, and the warning light still comes back. A small temperature drop overnight can trigger alerts even when your tires are perfectly fine. Rotate your tires or replace a sensor, and suddenly the system complains for weeks. That constant warning trains drivers to panic or ignore it entirely. Both bad outcomes. Many people rush to shops thinking they have a leak when nothing's wrong. After you've checked your tire pressure with a real gauge, don't let a sensitive sensor stress you out. The reminder should inform you, not boss you around. And while we're talking about systems that act on their own, the next one can unlock your car before you even touch it. Feature number 16, keyless entry, auto unlock. Keyless entry feels convenient. Walk up, doors unlock, no button needed. That convenience comes with real risks. These systems constantly communicate with your key fob using wireless signals, and thieves know how to exploit that. With a simple relay device, they can capture the signal from inside your house and unlock your car in seconds. No broken glass, no alarms. Even without theft, auto unlock causes problems. Walk past your car in the driveway, and the doors pop open. Keys in your pocket near the garage? Same thing. Disabling auto unlock puts control back in your hands. You unlock the car when you choose, not when a sensor guesses. And if automatic unlocking worries you, the next feature takes over every time a raindrop hits your windshield. Feature number 15, rain-sensing automatic wipers. Rain-sensing wipers promise hands-free convenience. In reality, they rarely get it right. A light mist can trigger frantic wiping, while a heavy downpour sometimes won't activate them at all until your visibility is already gone. These systems rely on a small sensor that reads light through the windshield. Dirt, dust, bugs, or residue can throw it completely off. They also love to activate at the worst times, like during a car wash or in a tunnel, scraping dry glass and wearing out blades faster than necessary. Manual control may seem old school, but it works every time. You decide when and how fast the wipers move, not a confused sensor. And if that feels pointless, the next feature makes you wave your hands just to change a song. Feature number 14, gesture controls. Gesture controls look futuristic in ads. Wave your hand, skip a song, adjust volume. In real driving, they're more gimmick than help. The sensors often misread normal movements. Reach for the screen, grab a drink, or adjust your seat, and suddenly the music changes or the map zooms out. Sunlight hitting the cabin can confuse them even more. Instead of reducing distraction, they create it. Drivers end up glancing at the screen trying to undo actions they never meant to trigger. A physical button or knob is faster, more accurate, and works every time without guessing your intentions. That's why most drivers disable this feature after a few days. And if that annoyance sounds familiar, the next feature won't stop beeping, even when you're barely moving. Feature number 13, seatbelt chime, short distance or off-road driving. Seatbelts save lives. On the road, always wear one. But the constant chime isn't always helping. When you're moving a car a few feet in a driveway, repositioning in a garage, or backing up a trailer on a job site, that non-stop beeping becomes pure noise. Some cars even keep chiming when the seat is empty, triggered by a heavy bag, toolbox, or sensor glitch. Instead of improving safety, it distracts and frustrates the driver. That frustration often leads people to buckle behind the seat or ignore warnings altogether. Most vehicles allow you to disable or mute the chime through settings or a simple sequence. Use it responsibly. Silence it when it doesn't apply. And if that sound annoys you, the next feature fakes something far more important. Feature number 12, fake engine sound, active sound enhancement. Some cars don't just drive, they perform through your speakers. Active sound enhancement pumps artificial engine noise into the cabin to make the car feel more powerful. Instead of hearing your real engine, you get a digital soundtrack designed by software. At first, it might seem fun, then it becomes tiring. On long drives, that fake noise adds fatigue instead of excitement. Worse, it interferes with real feedback. Engine sound helps drivers judge throttle input, shifting, and load. When it's fake, that connection disappears. You're no longer driving the car. You're listening to a simulation of it. Turn this feature off, and you'll get a quieter, more natural drive. Real engines don't need special effects, and if fake sound is distracting, the next feature lights up your cabin when you need darkness the most. Feature number 11, ambient interior lighting. Ambient lighting looks great in photos. Soft colors glowing across the dashboard make the cabin feel upscale. But once you're driving at night, that glow becomes a distraction. Interior lights reduce night vision. Your eyes struggle to adjust between the bright cabin and the dark road ahead. Even subtle reflections on windows or trim can hide hazards until it's too late. Some systems are too bright even on the lowest setting. Others change colors or pulse with music, pulling your attention away when you should be focused on the road. Mood lighting belongs when parked, not when driving through darkness. Dim it down or shut it off entirely after sunset, because the next feature promises comfort and delivers constant annoyance. Feature number 10, automatic climate control. Automatic climate control sounds like luxury. Set a temperature and forget it. But in real use, it rarely behaves the way you want. At startup, many systems blast the fan at full speed, even when the cabin doesn't need it. A few minutes later, it's freezing cold or fogging the windows because the sensors misread humidity or interior temperature. All that constant adjusting means the AC compressor cycles more than necessary, adding wear and burning extra energy. Instead of smooth comfort, you get sudden bursts of air and constant noise. Manual control is simpler and more predictable. You know when to turn the fan up or down. The computer doesn't. And if that feels like overkill, the next feature quietly shuts down parts of your engine while you drive. Feature number 9, cylinder deactivation, eco-displacement systems. Cylinder deactivation is designed to save fuel by shutting off part of your engine while cruising. Efficient on paper, complicated in reality. As cylinders switch on and off, internal temperatures and pressures constantly change. Over time, that uneven operation can lead to oil consumption, rough idling, vibration, and misfires. Many drivers notice strange engine behavior long before any warning light appears. The transition between modes isn't always smooth either. That slight lag or shudder you feel? That's the system reactivating cylinders. Instead of running consistently, the engine is always adjusting itself. Turning this feature off lets the engine operate evenly, reducing stress and improving drivability. And if that sounds subtle, the next feature messes with something you use constantly: your volume knob. Feature number 8, speed-sensitive volume control. Speed-sensitive volume control tries to be helpful by adjusting audio based on how fast you're driving. In practice, it's just irritating. Cruise downhill and the music fades out. Merge onto the highway and suddenly it's blasting. The system reacts to speed, not actual road noise, so even in a quiet cabin, it cranks the volume for no reason. That constant up and down forces you to keep reaching for the knob, especially with passengers. Instead of enjoying the drive, you're managing the stereo. It's a solution to a problem that never existed. Set your volume where you like it and leave it there. You'll hear what you want, when you want. And if constant adjustments annoy you, the next feature dulls your throttle, right when you need power most. Feature number 7, Eco Mode during high-speed driving. Eco Mode is built to save fuel in light driving. At highway speeds, it can become a problem. This mode dulls throttle response to reduce consumption, which means slower acceleration when merging, passing, or climbing hills. The car feels lazy, forcing the engine to work harder just to keep pace with traffic. Many systems also alter transmission behavior, holding higher gears too long and delaying downshifts. That may save a little fuel, but it reduces responsiveness when you need it most. Eco Mode works fine in calm city driving. On the open road, it restricts performance and safety. Turn it off and let the engine respond naturally. And if you think that slows you down, the next feature parks slower than a nervous beginner. Feature number 6, Automatic Park Assist. Automatic Park Assist looks impressive in commercials. Push a button, hands off the wheel, perfect parking every time. Reality is very different. The system hesitates, creeps, and constantly second-guesses itself. Curbs, shadows, uneven lines, or oddly parked cars confuse it fast. You end up blocking traffic while the car slowly shuffles back and forth like it's unsure of itself. And when conditions aren't perfect, it often gives up halfway through and tells you to take over anyway. By then, you could have parked twice. It's a feature designed for ideal scenarios that rarely exist. Your eyes and instincts still beat sensors when it comes to parking. And if that wastes time, the next feature can actually trap you when you're stuck. Feature number 5, traction control in snow, sand, or mud. Traction control is excellent on wet pavement, but off the road, it can work against you. When you're stuck in snow, sand, or mud, your tires need some wheel spin to dig in and find grip. Traction control cuts power the moment it detects slip, which can leave you completely stuck no matter how hard you press the gas. The system thinks it's protecting you, but in these conditions, it's actually preventing escape. That's why many vehicles include a button to disable it. Sometimes controlled wheel spin is exactly what you need. When the surface gets loose, turn traction control off and let the tires do their job. And if that system limits movement, the next one listens to everything you say. Feature number 4, voice assistants. Voice assistants are always listening, even when you're not talking to them. That alone makes some drivers uncomfortable. Your car's microphone stays active, waiting for a trigger phrase. Short audio clips can be recorded and, in some systems, sent to the cloud for improvement. Privacy concerns aside, the feature just isn't very reliable. Say one wrong word and it interrupts your drive. Music playing, it mishears a lyric and starts responding. Ask it to call someone, and it dials the wrong contact. Instead of reducing distraction, it creates more of it. Turning voice control off keeps your focus where it belongs, on the road, not arguing with software. And if that loss of control bothers you, the next feature updates your car without asking. Feature number 3, automatic software updates. Automatic updates sound harmless. Keep the car up to date, fix bugs, add features. But in practice, they can cause serious problems. Many drivers have experienced glitches right after updates. Cameras stop working, Bluetooth disconnects, touchscreens freeze or lag. Some updates even change settings or remove features with no way to undo them. Worse, certain cars install updates at inconvenient times, locking systems or limiting functions until the process finishes. This isn't a phone you can just restart and forget. With vehicles, software affects safety and drivability. If possible, switch updates to manual. That way you choose when and if your car changes, because the next feature nags you constantly, even when you're driving perfectly. Feature number 2, overly sensitive lane departure warnings. Lane departure warnings are meant to protect you from drifting, but when they're too aggressive, they become a distraction. A slight move to avoid a pothole, road debris, or a cyclist, and the system starts buzzing, beeping, or vibrating the steering wheel like you've done something wrong. On narrow roads, it can trigger constantly, even when there's barely enough space to stay centered. Some systems don't just warn you, they gently steer the car back, even when you intentionally moved over. That's where it gets risky. Fighting the wheel is never a good idea. Turn the sensitivity down or disable it when needed. A calm, focused driver is safer than one being nagged by electronics. And unfortunately, the next feature is worse. In the wrong place, it can be deadly. Feature number 1, remote start in enclosed or poorly ventilated areas. Remote start feels harmless. Warm the car, cool the cabin, step inside comfortably. But in enclosed or poorly ventilated spaces, it can be deadly. When an engine runs, it produces carbon monoxide, an odorless, invisible gas that builds up fast. In garages or enclosed parking areas, that gas can seep into your home before you realize anything's wrong. Modern engines are quiet, which makes the danger even easier to miss. With smartphone apps, it's possible to start a car remotely without remembering exactly where it's parked. Even short run times can be enough. Only use remote start outdoors in open air, or disable it entirely. Convenience is never worth the risk. The features hiding in plain sight. Here's the part most drivers never hear. The same cars packed with annoying, harmful features also hide settings that can extend engine life, reduce wear, and save you thousands in repairs. But manufacturers don't advertise them because they don't sell cars faster. Things like disabling unnecessary background systems, adjusting transmission behavior, or unlocking service menus that give you real control back. Most people drive for years without ever knowing these options exist, and once the damage is done, it's too late. Before your next drive, take a few minutes to explore your settings, or better yet, learn what your car isn't telling you. Because the smartest upgrade isn't a new car, it's knowing how to use the one you already own.